So for International Women's Day, Infinigate are teaming up with our partners across the UK and we're interviewing some strong female leaders. So today I'm going to pass over to Katie at Kubus. Hello.
Hello.
I'd like to overview your role at Kubus.
Yes, so my name's Katie. I'm now Marketing Director, recently promoted up from Head of.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And the role is to kind of take the full marketing piece and look at all the aspects alongside the vendor team, which now will be reporting into me as well, and then bringing it all together to deliver success.
Nice. So I saw that you actually started out as a marketing manager at Kubus. So how did you kind of get into that role at Kubus?
I was reached out to by a recruiter and then met Andy, who's our CRO, and then had a conversation. And then since then, it's just been smooth sailing straight in.
And what was that role kind of entailing as marketing manager at the start?
What it is now. It was to come in and kind of rebrand, do a brand new website, completely redo what the story is around Kubus and how we can kind of build up our profile within the channel, and also to better serve our customers moving forward.
Nice. Have you been involved in the rebrand as well of the office?
I have.
Hello, gorgeous. So how do you kind of start at the beginning of your IT career? How did you get into this tech world?
Yeah, so it's a bit wild really, because I've only been in tech for about 4 or 5 years. So previous to that, I was manufacturing. So I've always been in kind of like that male-dominated industries, always kind of around engineers, and you know, that kind of like taking solutions and crafting them and then building them out to serve customers challenges essentially. So I actually interviewed at CAE about 3 or 4 years ago, and went in as marketing manager, and then was there for a couple of years, and then obviously, as I said, met with Andy. Yes.
So you've recently been promoted. You've gone from marketing manager to head of marketing to marketing director.
Yeah.
Talk about that kind of transition, because that was over 7 months, is it?
Yeah, has it really been 7 months? Yeah. It was like yesterday. Yes, so came in as marketing manager, and then towards the end of last year, so we delivered brand new website, brand new brand story.
It looks great, by the way.
Thank you. But yeah, new brand story. We started with a workshop with our employees, looking at what values we needed to change. We'd had quite a few to begin with, so we really wanted to make it really, really simple, and kind of minimise the amount that we had, but make them more relevant to internal and external as well. And then we went through the pretty signs and the colours. And then we've also taken on a bit of a sales enablement challenge as well. So making sure that the sales team, there's a plan in place to help them with that collateral that's missing, a brand new credentials deck that the company didn't have before. So all of that was kind of delivered by Christmas last year, and it was a mammoth challenge, and it was a totally new approach for the existing marketing team. So they've done a superb job in kind of getting stuck in and finding their feet with a new way of working, with a new leader in place. Yeah. And then kind of conversation happened towards the end of last year around, look, we think you're in a position to be promoted up. So that was really great, and became part of the heads of team, I suppose. And then I think it was a couple of weeks ago now. I get confused.
It is quite
7 months has thrown me, but
being promoted,
yeah. And then the SLT said, look, we really do value the input. We think we're a sales and marketing led company. It makes sense that we have you've got the abilities to do it. Will you come and join us on SLT and be marketing director? First thought was, holy moly, this is a lot. But when I got my head around it, I was sort of already kind of doing it anyway, just not on that SLT side of things. Yeah. And there isn't anyone else within the organisation that can really drive the marketing element forward. So it just made sense.
Yes. For just on that, a lot of people that I've spoken to, especially women within this channel, have spoken about the imposter syndrome, where they've kind of been given a higher position, they've had that imposter syndrome doubt. Would you say that you had that when you got offered the director role?
No, I have it, and I recognise that I have it. I do want to touch on that though, because it is really, really important. So I have always carried that, and it's actually leaders that I've had previously that have recognised it. I also work with an amazing coach as well, and I've worked with him for a number of years. And he fully helps me with that as well. Do you know what has recently helped me? And which is probably why I haven't really felt it coming into this role. So I did my disc profile again. And I've actually come out on the opposite side of where I was previously. So previously I was a high I and I'm now a high D. So I've actually kind of, instead of being almost offended that can be direct and results driven and it could have negative connotations around it compared to where I was on a high I, I've actually kind of leaned into it more, and it's really helped me because it's helped me become more confident and knowing, Katie, you do know what you're talking about. You do know what the business needs. You are the subject matter expert. And even though I sit on an SLT team of men, I am the first female. They do look at me for the answers and they do, value my input, and that really, really helps to overcome it. But it's a challenge, and I think it's definitely a challenge for quite a few women within the industry because of the male dominance, but also just in general, I think women suffer with it more.
I think it's about what you touched on earlier with the coaching and having a good leader to kind of boost you up when you are feeling that would just make the world of difference for women in this industry to kind of combat that. But so going back to how you touched on the imposter syndrome, I know you haven't really faced it within your role now, but you have experienced it. What advice would you give for people experiencing that imposter syndrome?
Ignore it.
That was right.
I think as you grow and you grow in confidence and you start surrounding yourself with people that you believe in you, it naturally will pass. I think a lot of the time people carry that self-doubt because they don't believe in themselves. But you do know what you're talking about. Just ignore it. And I find being really busy all the time really helps because then you can't think about it.
So has there been a time within your roles at Kubus or in general in your career over the years that you've doubted yourself, and how would you combat that?
All the time, which is terrible, isn't it, really? But I think to combat it, do you know what? I just check. Sometimes I just need a sense check, whether that's calling up one of my friends or a colleague or someone I've worked with previously in marketing, just to sense check it, or a quick Google.
So going now on to your leadership. So what does the marketing team look like at Kubus at the moment?
Amazing. It's being built up. So we've actually just made an offer out to an events manager today, which I'm really excited about because it takes Kubus on a whole new journey around what we can do and what we can service to our salespeople, but also to our customers as well, and really kind of amplify that, making the complex simple for our customers by getting in front of them and actually demonstrating
and delivering those results.
Precisely. So we currently have, we're quite even actually. Well, actually, no, we do. So we're heavily female, funnily enough. But, Sam's great. He's our digital marketing exec. He comes with a wealth of knowledge about Kubus anyway. So he's been here for a number of years.
So what values guide you in a team and leading that team?
So I think trust in your teammates is so important. If you don't have trust or you've got some doubts about a certain someone in the team, regardless of what it is, I think that causes a real issue, and it can be like a disruptive notion that follows through to everyone. So definitely trust. Communication is vital. It's non-negotiables. Marketing non-negotiables. So absolutely communication. Acknowledgement within that communication kind of piece as well. So if you're sending an email, just acknowledge it. Don't let anyone in the team feel like they're being ignored. I need to know lots of different things. I don't need to know necessarily the ins and outs of things. So that's what I rely on the team to be able to deliver. So just communicating back to me and to each other around where they are. So what we actually do is have 2 team catch-ups a week. And then we've got obviously our Teams chat and our SharePoint and various different communication channels as well. Fairness. I think,
big one,
and I think this is really important around making sure that everyone has their own levels of fairness as well. So I mean that in a way of, if someone's got children, there will be a need at some point for them to get
take that time.
Exactly. So child's hurt themselves at school, they need to dash. I'm not going to sit here and be like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, you go and sort your child out. But someone who doesn't have children is never going to have that problem. But actually, what's fairness to them?
Yeah.
So it's making sure everyone in the team is treated fairly, and that everyone's got their clear jobs. So you don't get that conflict over responsibilities as well. So transparency, accountability, trust and communication. I was working on the brand story and there were lots of different thoughts coming in and opinions. So I actually spoke to her about managing people's expectations, because I think, there were some people that had been at Kubus for a long time and maybe they wanted something different to what new people that had come in that had experienced a rebrand somewhere else. And she just literally listened to me. She was so calm. And I was a bit frantic at that point because there was lots of stuff going on that we're trying to launch before Christmas. And she just said really, really calmly, I wish someone had said this to me earlier in my own career, but dust it off your shoulders. And what does it really matter? And it's just stuck with me because actually she's right. And this applies to all aspects of life, right? Not just work. But why get so agitated by things that you can't necessarily control, and make sure that you've got that deliverable in mind. You know what the end goal is. If it's not exactly how you want it, that's okay. I'll let it go.
Yeah, I think we're all very guilty of taking work home with us sometimes and letting the stress build up. To a point, but
massively. The other piece of advice I was given recently was by a colleague, and she's been so supportive of me and what we're trying to do since I've joined. She's become a really good friend, and she actually said to me, "We can't control how other people react." So important. Yeah. I wish someone had told me that when I was a child. But I kind of always have that in the back of my head now when I'm in those conversations, those maybe difficult conversations, or, talking to the team, or in those SLT meetings. You can't control how other people can react.
Absolutely.
And that comes back to kind of always making sure you stick to the facts.
So what does being a strong female leader look like for you?
So on a personal level, I've got 2 daughters, varying in age. So one's 6, one's 13. And we've got a strong family unit. But it's so important to me to show them and educate them to go out and get what you want in your career. You don't need to rely on anyone else. You can do it as long as you stay focused and you keep striving for success. And how you measure that is entirely up to you. But honestly, I know it sounds such a cliche, but I do it for them. Because, I'm not home every night to do bedtime. But I've actually learned, and especially being at Kubus, because it is quite far from where I live, that at the weekends they're so much more valuable with the kids. And the kids ask me about work, and they, in their own 6-year-old way or teenage way, but they ask me and they're interested. And my eldest is going through her GCSE options at the moment. The amount of time we've spent talking through them. I mean, the kid doesn't know what she wants to do, but she's so passionate about doing things that she wants
to do well.
Yeah, and that she enjoys. And I feel like maybe she is starting to recognise that I really do love my work. And I just really want them to see that it's such a positive for women in whatever industry, especially in something like tech where it is male dominated, that you can be successful.
Yeah, I think that passion is probably the main thing I would say as well for success. That skills can be learned, but when there's passion, that's when you grow and you can really progress in your career.
Yeah, you're so right. You are right about that. Passion as well for us, it's one of our values, so thanks for that. It's, if you lose it, you need to go and do something else, because you're never going to get that back. And it's not even that I'm passionate about marketing. I am, but I'm passionate about delivering the results. And that for this business, that's a bit of a pivot for me from where I was in previous roles. I want to see this business succeed. And it's really important. And the other element of that is my team. I really want them on a personal level to be able to, not that I want them to leave me, but, when they do decide that they want to move on to their next journey, that they develop further. And they've taken so much learning from being here, and the team and the collaboration that they have around them, that they go off and they go and have great successful careers.
And I guess to round up International Women's Day, what meaningful advice as well would you give for women that kind of they would look at your career path, especially at Kubus, they would see how you've climbed to a director level. What advice would you give for women who aspire to get up to your level?
Work hard and go for it.
Love that.
That is literally all it is. I mean, that's a bit of a lie, isn't it? But know what you want, surround yourself with the right people. I think that's really, really important. Make sure you've got strong leaders in place that can support you in where you need to go, and say yes.